I'm Patrick Watson, I'm an astrologer, and you're watching Big Fat Astro Vlog. And today I'm going to be delivering a monthly horoscope for all Capricorn risings for the month of September 2018, and I'm going to do it in 5 minutes. So on September 3rd, that's when Venus enters its pre-retrograde shadow period. So basically, Venus will cross the degree at which it will eventually station direct at after the retrograde period of October and November. So basically what this means is on September 3rd, that's when you'll begin to kind of see the opening ceremonies, as it were, for the Venus retrograde period. So if you're already with someone, then this may be where you kind of start to see some of the issues which might become a bigger deal later on in October. And if you are single, then this may be when you make some of these social connections, which end up kind of facilitating the kind of the narrative of the Venus retrograde that will be happening. So that's what you should start expecting September 3rd. Just keep your eyes open. Let's see. On September 6th, this is when Saturn stations direct in your first whole sign house, because you are Capricorn rising and Saturn's in Capricorn, and Saturn rules your ascendant. So I mean, this is part of your 2.5 year long transit of Saturn through the first house. Oftentimes with Saturn going through the first house, this is when people can get kind of beaten down a bit by life. To some degree, this is a little more of a natural state for Capricorn risings, because Saturn already kind of rules your chart anyway. So it's sort of like your toughness and no nonsense type nature, kind of just undergoes kind of a calcification and ossification. You kind of become a much more, an even more like mature and disciplined kind of version of yourself. So Saturn likes to say no, and as I imagine you do, and when it's stationing direct, it's like saying, I'm not going any further than that. So to some degree, there must be some way in which you're like distinguishing yourself, that maybe you have finally decided that maybe you've met your own limit for like what you're kind of willing to do with your sort of sense of life direction, what you're doing kind of with your life and with yourself. So it sounds a bit general, but I'm hoping that makes some amount of sense to you in your specific situation in life as a Capricorn rising. On September 9th, there is a new moon at 17 Virgo, and that's closely opposite the Neptune and Pisces. So I imagine that a 2-week theme following that lunation should be about a more Neptunian theme of appearances can be deceiving. All that glitters isn't gold. Even if something is very seems very like fact-based and logical and practical, there's some sort of element of it being illusory or delusional, or a product of wishful thinking or something of that sort. And for you, it's happening across your 3rd and 9th. So those are the kind of topics which will be involved in that opposition. Oh god, a minute and a half. All right, so what's interesting is after that lunation, we get this Venus-Mars-Uranus square, and basically, that aspect in general indicates forcefully charged social dynamics. I'd imagine we'll see a lot of people who are usually against each other, yet like unexpectedly united, with Venus opposite Uranus, and people who are usually together on the same page are kind of challenged and torn apart unexpectedly as well. So kind of odd dynamics there. For you, it seems to be happening across the 11th, 2nd, and 5th. So it's almost like connections through people at work or your professional acquaintances cost you money or damage to your personal property, and unexpectedly creates something new. I don't know, because the 5th house is a creative house. Oh god, 30 seconds. Okay. There's a full moon on September 24th at 2 Aries, And that's going to reinforce a lot of the Saturn things we talked about, because it literally aligns very closely with that Saturn. You can see there's Moon at 2 Aries square Saturn in Capricorn in your first whole sign house. So those are some of the major transits you should pay attention to for the month of September. I hope you enjoyed this horoscope. If you want to see these continue, please support me on Patreon, along with a lot of other people who are. That really, really helps me, and you can get some cool prizes if you support me on Patreon. You can also check out my website for personalized readings and consultations, services, etc. That's at bigfatastro.com. You can also read all my articles there. Some of them are funny. And you can follow me on Facebook at Big Fat Astro. You can follow me on Twitter at pwatsonastro. You can like this video. You can leave a nice comment. You can share it with your friends. And you should subscribe to my channel so you don't miss new content. Alrighty, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good month. Bye.